Writers, now it's time for me to model using our criteria for success for adding questions to the introduction and conclusion. So, step one was to identify our introduction and conclusion in our draft. My introduction is at the very beginning, it is my first paragraph. It reads, "Just imagine a quiet, calming creature with orange and white stripes." Nope, I'm definitely not talking about a tiger. I'm talking about a fish. Let me tell you why I think fish make the best pet. In your introduction, friends, that is where you are stating your opinion and giving your opinion. So that was my introduction. The second thing that I needed to identify was my conclusion, and that is at the very end of my writing. The very end of my writing, and that's where I'm restating my opinion. So it says, "This is why I believe a fish makes the perfect pet." That is my conclusion. So step one was identify your introduction and conclusion. I can check that off that I've completed that step. Let's move on to step two. Step two was to pick sentence stems to add to the introduction and conclusion. Step two is what, friends? This is where you're going to pick sentence stems to add to your introduction and conclusion. So we have some options. We have 3 options to choose from our introduction and 3 options to choose from our conclusion. But let's first look at our introduction. Let's first look at our introduction options. The first option was, have you ever dreamt of the perfect pet? Second one reads, what pet do you think is the best pet? The third one reads, if you had to pick the best pet, what would it be? Friends, I just need to pick one of these sentence stems to add to my writing. Let's look back and read my introduction one more time to see which one best fits my writing. Just imagine a quiet, calming creature with orange and white stripes. Nope, I'm definitely not talking about a tiger. I'm talking about a fish. Let me tell you why I think fish make the best pet. Friends, out of these 3 answer choices, I think I'm going to choose the first one. Have you ever dreamt of the perfect pet? Have you ever dreamt of the perfect pet? That is going to be the sentence stem I add to my introduction paragraph. Now let's look at my sentence stems for my conclusion. It reads, would you agree that blank is the best pet? Have I convinced you that blank is the best pet? Now do you believe blank is the best pet? Let me read my conclusion one more time to see which one best fits. It says, this is why I believe fish make the perfect pet. This is why I believe fish makes the perfect pet. I'm going to add, have I convinced you that blank is the best pet? Have I convinced you that blank is the best pet? But where am I going to add these sentence stems? Now that I've chosen, where am I going to add them? Let's move on to step 3. Step 3 of our criteria for success is to add the sentence stems to the beginning of our introduction and the end of our conclusion. We'll add the sentence stems to the beginning of our introduction and the end of our conclusion. Friends, you can see that I added my sentence stem to the very beginning of my introduction. I added it in a different color. Am I going to use a pencil to write to revise my writing? No, friends. Make sure you use a different color so I can identify what you've added to your draft for the revising phase. So I wrote, have you ever dreamt of the perfect pet? Just imagine a quiet, calming creature with orange and white stripes. I'm definitely not talking about a tiger. I'm talking about a fish. Let me tell you why I think fish make the best pet. I added this question to make my writing better. I added this question to make my writing better in my introduction. Now let's look at my conclusion and see where I added the sentence stem in my conclusion. I wrote it at the very end. I made it my last sentence of my writing. My conclusion reads, this is why I believe a fish makes the perfect pet. Have I convinced you that a fish is the best pet? I added a question to make my writing better. I added a question to make my writing better. I didn't touch anything else. The only two things I did was add these questions in the beginning of my introduction and the end of my conclusion. Friends, it's your turn. Writers, you are going to add your sentence stems to your writing. For your exit ticket, you are going to take a photo of your writing, just like I have here on the screen. I took a photo of my writing, and you're going to upload it to Google Classroom. There is some pictures that are added to the exit ticket where you can look to help you. It has the criteria for success and the sentence stems. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, guys. Good luck! I can't wait to read the questions that you've added to your writing.